Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos.
Okay, guys, so this week we are talking about 2020, 2020,
2020. There's a lot of 20s.
2020.
Yeah, so we're ready. So when this posts, it's going to be New Year's Eve. So
Yes.
tomorrow is the big day
big
that
day.
everybody has all of these big goals and new resolutions and all the things. But listen, what do you say? What's your thing that you say?
A goal
Goal
without a
without
plan
a
is just a dream.
That's right.
I was
So
like, I don't
here's
know,
our
there's a
here's
lot
our
of things
plan.
I say, Brenna.
Yeah, you do say a lot of things. In particular for this though,
Yes, a goal
without a plan
is just a dream.
It's just a dream. Yeah. So
And-
we have set up our plan for Q1 of 2025. How crazy is 2025? Yikes. We do follow the 12-week year structure. I know I've been using it now. This will be the fourth, after 2025 will be the fourth year. So
yeah.
I've been doing it for a little while. I love this setup because it is so easy to set goals like, oh, I want to do this year. And then we look up in October and you're like, oh, wow, like didn't really get where I needed to go. So having a shorter timeline for me and like tactical things to focus on and do to move the needle to get to that goal is huge.
Yeah.
Is huge for me.
And I've used it the first year, I think was 3 years ago. Or maybe it was 4 when we did it with that group. Or they at least introduced us and we started our own small group to do that. And I was saying I was using it this year. I built it, but I didn't actually work in it. And it reflects in my numbers and it reflects in the things I did and didn't achieve. Now, I still am at a place where I'm happy, but as I look back, I'm like, damn it, Alyssa, what were you doing? So the other thing I like about this is that it gives you a structure. I am incredibly ADHD, but if you give me a checklist, boom, 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 I
That's
knock
what I
it
was
out.
just going to say.
And that's, I can take this structure and turn it into a daily or a weekly checklist to keep me on track to go, okay, I did this many reach outs today. I did that. Like, it's done. I can walk away now and feel now there's probably other stuff I still need to do that day that's like situational.
Sure.
But I love that this gives me that structure. And guys, if you don't know, we are going to go over our goals. If you don't know the 12-week year structure, one, we have an episode where we discuss it. I don't think today is a day where we're going to go back into exactly how to build this. But we do have an episode, our first episode on it. We discuss the structure. Also, get the book. It is by, hold on, I have it right here, Brian Moran. He also has an email list. You can get on that, or he will send you tips every week. I think it is. You can tell I've read this a couple times. It has all the tabs,
all the sticky notes and tabs. And yeah, no, it's great. It's a great book. I've read it a few times as well. Because just like you, like I am somebody that squirrel brain. So if I have a checklist, something that I can look at and see my progress too, because I'm an instant gratification kind of person.
Yes.
So for me, and the first year that I built it out on Trello was last year. Anybody that uses Trello, when you build out a checklist and you select a box like you've done that, it shows a percentage bar of how close you are to finishing that task or that goal or whatever it is. And that's just straight serotonin for me. I don't know what to tell you. Every time I click a checkbox and it goes, oh, up by 4%, we're closer to the 100% mark. It's just so exciting to me. So I love using Trello for this. But just a real quick structure. I think it's Tony Robbins that says we overestimate what we can do in a year and underestimate what you can do in 10.
Yes.
So the idea behind this, and when you read the book, they'll have you look, I think it's 3 or 5 years out, like where do you want to be? And then work backwards. So this is us working backwards. We have our year-end goals that we're working for, but we're breaking those down into smaller chunks for us to work on each quarter. So this is Q1, and I think we have some big goals this year.
Some big goals. Yeah.
Do you want to start? I think so. I have some business ones and I have a couple I mean, I think we always do a couple of personal
Yeah.
ones, and my personal ones really haven't changed, but
Right.
we'll just start at the top, I
All
guess.
right. So, do we want to go back and forth? You do one, I'll do one.
Sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
You go first.
Okay. I want to hit elite this year. So that means I have to do some transactions faster than I traditionally
How
have.
far are you from Elite?
Um, I'm after today. I have a closing today. I will be 18
Okay.
away,
Yeah, I think
and
we're about the same.
my rollover date is July. So I'll have 6 months to get 18, which is more than I've done before in 6 months, but
You
I
can do
think I
it.
can do
You
it.
can do it.
So for Q1, I need to have 9 transactions to stay like on track
You can do it.
for 18 closings in 6 months. So it with that though, in my Trello board, I built out like the pipeline that I have right now, the active listings that I have, the prospects that I'm working, my active buyers, so I can see that, and then different tactics. And I'm really diving into more like the 5 mile famous thing this year. So something that I haven't done that I've started doing is mailers. I started doing reminder media again, so I will be doing that
I know you're doing the
quarterly.
magazine. Are you also doing like postcards with them?
I would not with reminder media. I do postcards, but I'm doing it in a more consistent, strategic manner, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Um, I think I think I'm going to be doing postcards every other month and a reminder media magazine every quarter, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
And it,
And go ahead.
so your postcards, I'm assuming more people than the magazines. Okay.
Correct. Because the magazines are a little over $4 a
Yeah.
piece. So those are the ones. And in reminder media, they have this new thing. Where I mean, I guess a lot of platforms have it where they gauge like how motivated they might be to sell or
Oh,
to
yeah.
move, like how likely they are to move. So I have my mailing list, but the top people on that list, and of course, like past clients and like my people, those are the ones that are getting the magazines.
Nice. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. I like that you're supplementing just the magazine.
And the other thing I will be doing is five. Oh God, I'm going to say this out loud. 5 her boxes a week.
Ooh.
And those are going out to, I have HomeBot with people in there that get automatic monthly updates of what their payoff for their loan might be, what their estimated like revenue could, like all the things. It's a really, really great email. I have a huge open rate. It's 89% open rate with
With HomeBot.
300 people in there.
Nice.
That's a lot of people. So how I'm going to do that, the her boxes is based on the most active people in HomeBot that week.
Okay. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that a lot. And then you're just going to
That's what I'm
track
doing.
it somewhere like, oh, I already gave them one. So then you'll have like a follow
Correct.
up if they
Correct.
come back into HomeBot again.
Spreadsheet, Trello. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That's exactly right. And then if I run out of those people, um, I'm also like high notes and an easier one. So the actual physical boxes, I'd like to do 5, but those, if I can do more of the send out via email or even a QR code on those postcards that's individualized to a high note presentation. So when they scan it, it's not like put your info in and I'll send you one. They scan it and it is their information.
Right.
I'd love to
That would be great.
do that too. But those are well, and the last one is revving up on my FISBO prospecting again.
Yeah.
That's the last one.
I like it. I like it. It made me think. I didn't take into consideration wanting to hit elite. I need to change this number.
Oh, because if we're on the same timeline, then yeah, you've got to do 9 or 10 this first
Yeah.
quarter too.
Thanks for that, Brenna.
You're welcome.
All right.
Listen, elite is. I mean, I'm so close.
I know.
I mean,
And I'm just
ultimately,
like, big things
I hit
open
my
up when
cap
you hit that.
faster.
Yeah, I hit my
Yeah.
cap way fast. So, for people listening who aren't in our firm, at real, you cap once your portion that you've paid real out of your commission split hits 12,000. After that, you can hit elite, which you have to sell a certain amount of homes over $1 million, or you have to hit a gross GCI of what is it, 500,000,
It's 500.
or
Yeah.
a certain number of um, transaction fees after that. That's how it kind of works. So it means you're making you're selling houses. Last year I capped, and it resets every year at your anniversary. Last year I capped in May, and I reset June 1st. So I had 1 month. And it also means you get 100% of your commission once you cap.
Mhm.
This year I capped in May, reset in June, capped in October. So I have a good 6 months at more to hit that number, which I've already have some towards it. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, so I was looking at, I'm glad you brought that up because my goal overall next year is I wanted 24 closings or 8 million in sales, which is great. That doubles what I did this year, which this year I did not hit my goal, but I had 5 transactions cancel. So if those had gone through, like I would be where I wanted to be. But now I'm glad you brought up elite because now I'm like, no, I need to stack the front end of this year right now. So I originally my goal for the first quarter was 4 closings or listings. Um, I need to bump that number up. I'm gonna go back and calculate some things, but I am going to continue with my monthly newsletter that we deliver. This is or that I send in email. I finally picked that back up and figured out how to do it with my Lofty. I might switch it to Flowdesk.
Mhm.
I'm going to continue with the monthly farming in that neighborhood we've been farming.
Yeah.
And we might do a little uptick because the realtor who was dominating that neighborhood moved out and is selling his house.
Ooh. Mhm.
Yes. So I am going to dive into YouTube this year. I'm doing it. I don't care if it looks like I will do the best I can. And if
Great.
I end up outsourcing it to make it look better, if I just send them this and say, hey, I need it to look like this, done. Um, but I've been using listing leads for the last 3 weeks. And they give you an idea every week. I was like, I can do this. They're giving me the idea. I just need to sit down and film it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do one giveaway per quarter. I think it's a great way to get people to give you their information and get them into your
Yep.
database. I'm actually gonna do one this week. Um, I'm following listing leads, which includes mailers. I need to figure out who I want to send all those to because I don't know that I just want to blast my farm with them, but I might use that as our uptick. Um, I'm gonna
What is listing leads?
listing leads.
Are you pay for is it a paid for service that you
Yeah,
get
but
like
it's
okay.
kind of like they give you ideas. They give you, here's the stuff, you just need to do it. I'm not getting actual lead information. It's here's an email you should send this week. Here's the text messages you should be sending this week. Who to send it to.
Nice.
Yeah, things that I never learned as a baby agent. Like everyone say, "Oh, you should be
Mhm.
sending postcards." Okay, what does that mean? To
Right.
who? What should the content be? Like
Mhm.
it's Jimmy Mackin owns it and Tom Ferry. So they're reliable sources. I'm going to continue with quarterly pop buys for my past clients and my sphere of influence, but I'm also going to incorporate, and I think I talked about this before, and I just never did it. Attorneys, um, divorce attorneys, estate planning attorneys, people who are going to need their clients will need realtors. I'm going to stop by quarterly with a packet of my information that's all like looks very nice and professional put together, and something like a nice loaf of crusty bread from a local bakery or something every quarter so that I'm in front of their face. They know who I am. It's not
Mhm.
just some Joe Schmo off the street. Um, I'm going to continue with my deal of the week emails. I might start doing a little bit of video. Sharon mentioned an agent who did it with video and got some success. I think that's a great way to reach people who aren't in my database.
Yep.
Um, I'm going to start doing Facebook ads. Um, we will see how they go. There's a, I was going to say there's a platform out there, but it's called Platform, who you can pay big money to do it. And unfortunately, fortunately, they only pick one agent per area. My
Yeah.
area, your area, currently done.
Mhm.
So I'm going to try and figure this out on my own. It's not going to be a high budget thing, but I think it's at least going to help with, like you said, 5 Mile Famous. I need 5 Mile Famous in Gaston County.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've built out my weekly video schedule so I know what I'm not scrambling and, oh, what should I do this week? What should I do today?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's here. I know which day I'm filming and recording and editing which one. And then I'm going to continue with my community outreach. So the teacher of the month, we'll continue doing. Um, I'm going to one of the videos every week is going to be at the local dog shelter for a dog that needs to be adopted. And then I'm switching it up. I'm going to do every closing, I'm donating a portion of my commission. I've picked 4 or 5 different nonprofits. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a great way. It's also a 5 Mile Famous thing. Hey, like I'm donating to this organization locally.
Yep.
So, but I had 4 closings. I need to reassess what I need to hit elite and change that number. Because
Yep.
I was taking, remember last year, we like at the beginning of the year, we were like, we adjusted this first quarter number because we know second and third quarter is going to ramp up.
Is better. Yeah.
Right. But I also need to take into consideration, and I'm so glad you brought this up, my anniversary date and what I need to hit that.
Absolutely.
So, um, yeah. So that number will
Awesome.
change, and we'll talk about that at another time.
I'm assuming that you're going to be pretty close to me with like
Yeah.
9
Yeah, I would
transactions.
say I'll probably shoot for, I'm going to look at it to see what I've closed since then. I need to look at
Mm-hmm.
that. But it'll probably be that, but I'm not be honest, I'm going to shoot over because if something terminates, I don't want to be in the position I was hitting my numbers this year.
Yep. No, absolutely. You always got to shoot. I guess if your goal is to close, 25, you really have to have. And they do, there's an equation for that too. Like, look back at how many you closed, how many did you have that terminated, how many appointments did they go, like to backwards math it to see how many appointments you have to go on, how many listings or how many buyer appointments you actually have to have
Right.
to get the closed number that you want to have. Tori Searlock actually in like the Statesville
Mhm.
group is like
I might have
very
to
good at those
meet her for a coffee
numbers.
then and be like, "Help me figure
Yeah.
this out because I've never
Well,
calculated that."
just come on Friday. We have coffee on Friday.
I know. Are you doing it this
Um,
Friday?
we do it every Friday.
We do too,
I
but
don't know
we're
if we're
done
doing.
for the
Wait, hold
year.
on, hold on. Friday, maybe not this Friday.
Yeah, we
I always forget how like we are so close to Christmas when we're
yeah,
recording this right now. So
we ended ours for the year and we'll pick back up probably the second Friday in January, just the way the
yeah,
Fridays and the dates and school breaks fall.
yep, sure.
So
The next, I guess I can kind of group these into one. I started a new Facebook group. It's called the Newton Mom Squad. Because there's like a Hickory Moms group that has like thousands and thousands of people in there, but you get lost in there
right.
pretty easily. So I have a Newton Mom Squad group that I've been doing like coffee meetups every other week, and we just like go to a local coffee shop and grab a sandwich or a drink and just hang out. I have a wrapping party that we're doing on Thursday, so that'll be fun. Just posting. I want it to be valuable, and my problem is like, what do I post every day that's
I
valuable?
don't know that
You
it needs
know,
to be you posting every day, but
at
once
least until like the interaction
right,
starts
well, and I was
picking
gonna say
up
once the
because
interactions take up, it's you
mhm,
posting every 2 days or every 3 days, but commenting and giving
mhm,
information there. Or what if you asked questions instead of giving
right,
value? Like let other people, and that will also like we did with our Q&A
drive
episode.
interaction.
It will drive interaction. It will also give you ideas of other things to post.
Yep.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to add, we have just over 100 people. We have 103 people in that group right now.
nice.
So this quarter, I want to add another 75 people because it's not something that I just want to add people to. Like, I want them to be local. I want them to be in Newton, like that kind of
Right.
thing. I've actually had people that have joined from like Charlotte and I've declined it, like you're not, you're not here. So that kind of, I want it to be super hyper local people.
Nice.
So I'm working on that. We'll do continue to do two coffee dates like a month. Again, this time of year we're not doing one this week or next week. We'll probably pick up the first week of January, and just build that interaction in those daily posts just to try to get more people involved, kind of thing.
Right.
And along with that is like my email list. I know they're two separate entities, but they're both local groups that I'm trying to build out. So I want to get another 100 people into the What's New in newsletter. So that will get me to 600 subscribers, which would be great. I
Right.
love that. I will continue doing the weekly emails out to, I have some old leads that I purchased way back in 2019, like the first year in real estate, because that's obviously how you get business when you're a first time agent in a new place as you buy them. Um,
I
None
actually
of those
never
have
did that.
churned, by the way.
I know.
Never. I get responses and stuff so that like I continue to send them emails and things like they open them, but I have not closed a deal from that list yet, but I'm working on it.
Right.
And part of that too is like, again, time blocking. So all of my emails are going to be scheduled the last week of the month for the
Following
month
month.
ahead.
I like that. I've been
Yes.
working on that. The
Mm-hmm.
only one I can't do that way is the deal of the week. I have to schedule that
Mm-hmm.
weekly just because
Yep.
the way it works.
And the only one that I have to do like kind of the week of is the newsletter because things change and things are added like up so close. Like that's the one that I have to do kind of send out the week of.
Right.
But other than that, and I'm going to be tracking the what emails are sent, like the information that's inside it so I can kind of see if it was a real estate related one or if it was the local events email and track the open rate as well. So
So
maybe
remind
it'll
me, you said you do a monthly newsletter.
mhm.
You're doing a weekly event newsletter?
It's not a weekly event newsletter. Every week I send out an email. Some of them have like, this is what's happening this week. Like if there's a week that I know is like stacked with events, like last weekend we had so many Christmas festivities going on, and that's what I sent in that email. What's an email just sent out today about, I think it was like last minute tax like strategies and stuff, like things to remember as a homeowner for
Okay.
tax season. So like value pieces. There's funny ones. Before Thanksgiving, I sent out a recipe, like just that kind of stuff. But it keeps my logo in front of them. My Instagram feed is built into it, so when they open it, like it's just always there.
And that,
So
do you title it the same thing every week? Like what's happening?
nope.
No. Okay.
The only one that's titled the same is What's New in Newton.
Okay. And that's the like
Mm-hmm.
monthly.
The newsletter one.
Cool. I like it. And I like that so like, I love that idea because you're getting people to sign up for it. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
unsubscribe probably
Yep.
versus just sending it to everyone in your database. They're going to be like, this lady sent it to me too. I didn't want this. And
Mm-hmm.
then they're out. You can't
Well,
contact them.
I stay on top of that email list too. So if I have people that have signed up but haven't opened a single thing, like if they haven't opened it in the last like 3 emails that I've sent, they're put on a separate list that says unopened. So I can keep them off the list because it obviously affects your open rates if
Right.
you know that that person's not opening them, and then you can retarget with something like really high level like clickbait, you know what I
Right.
mean, to see if they're if it's because it could be a bad email, it could be
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but
Yeah, it could be an old email address they don't use anymore.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. My next goal, and this is going to be an all year probably. I probably won't take any action on creating this until at least Q3. I'm trying to determine if I want to build a team. People have approached me about it, people have asked me to do it. I just don't know if I want to. Um, there's so many team archetypes out there that I'm like, and I'm not a person to buy leads and give them to you. I'm just not. One, I don't have finances to do it. Two, I don't think that's a great way to build a business. So, Q1, I'm going to do a lot of digging into team types, how people structure theirs, what they're providing. Um, I'm going to focus on building and fine tuning my systems and processes so that if I do, one, it'll help my business. Two, if I do build a team, when I decide to do that, it's okay, here's the template, hand it off.
Sure.
And I'm going to read. I have the book. I've had it for forever. It's here. So I'm like looking for it. I don't know where I moved it. Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And I'll probably read something else about teams too, but um, that's what I'm committing to Q1 to help determine if I even want to do this. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get caught up in, oh my God, everyone wants me to do this, so I'm going to do it and not be prepared and do it well.
Yep.
And then because that puts a bad taste in people's mouths. It doesn't give me a bad name, but people are like, she shouldn't be a team lead. Nope. If I'm doing this, I'm going to do it well. So I'm
Yep.
going to take the time to research and build and make sure it's executed on the level I want it to be on. If I want it.
That's good.
If I even want it to be on. I may not. It may not be my thing.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep. Absolutely. Um, I have I want to do a client event or an event each quarter. Obviously, past clients will be invited, but it'll be kind of a community thing too. So this first one is going to be, I think, a Galentine's event
You know what's
because
funny?
I'm
That was
really.
supposed to be in my first one and it's not there.
Oh,
I
is
must have
it?
accidentally deleted. I was like, as soon as you said that, I was like looking at my screen. I'm like, wait a
That's
minute.
not there. Yeah, I'm really trying to dive into. I mean, I do a lot with the school. I do a lot with the teachers, the PTO, but that might be something that I don't have next year going into the school year. So, trying to build a community outside of the school too. So, Galentine's is I think is that's I don't want to say it's an easy one, but I think it's such a
It's fun.
I've been to like two different Galentine's events and I've loved them. They were
Yes.
so fun. It's so cute. There's like a local. I'm actually holding the wrapping party at their event center here in Newton. And I think I would do something like that. Or there's a couple of little boutique hotels in downtown
Mm-hmm.
Newton too that also do little events. It's just something to feel like special and excited. And I would love to like sponsor that with somebody, like have somebody that helps sponsor that
Yeah.
for little gift bags and of course like the food and that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
that's the first item on Q1. So of course January I have like picking a venue, a date, talking to a sponsor, that kind of thing. February is like events or sending out invitations because it's going to happen really quickly because that event is in the middle of the quarter,
Right.
not in the end of the quarter. So it all has to happen kind of here in the next
Yeah.
few weeks as far as getting it all laid out together. But that's something that even local businesses like the spa or the nail lady, like you can get gift cards from them and really include like the community in that
Mm-hmm.
event too.
Yeah,
So
I love that idea. And that's it's funny. It is supposed to be on my first quarter for getting more closings. And I don't know where I must have accidentally deleted it last night because I did have Galentine's in there. Or my backup was St. Patrick's. Do something. I
mm-hmm.
don't see a lot of people do St. Patrick's Day stuff.
Nope.
Or
And that's very on like I feel like that's on theme for you too though because
yes,
that goes along with like I mean it's not a sports but isn't there like the basketball thing going on that time
it's
of year
funny that you
too?
say that. Yes. So, March Madness. And
There you
that
go.
was the
That's what it
other thing
is.
I was looking at, and I'm actually pulling up a calendar right now. Is when is Easter this year?
God,
Um,
I hope it's in April.
I know. That's what I was literally just gonna search it because I wonder if Easter is April 20th. So technically that's second quarter.
Great.
Because that's another way of like, okay, maybe you want to do 4 quarterly events a year,
Mhm.
but because the first quarter we're coming off the holidays, it's cold in a lot of places. Maybe first quarter is okay, we're getting all the prep work done for a beginning
Mhm.
of Q2 event.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, and
then,
so that's the
you
that's
know,
the thing that I'm looking at too, because I want to do like an Easter egg hunt this year at like a local park. I think that would be super cool. The whole community can be involved. Like this Galentine's event isn't going to be more than like 20 people.
right.
In my head, like that's what I would like. An Easter egg event that I could market to all of Newton and do in like the city park. Like we
Right.
could have hundreds of people there because it's just a big event.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, like you said, that gives more time. If an Easter one is something that I'm focused on, planning that needs to be part of Q1 too, because it's the first couple of weeks of Q2.
Right. And if you're listening and you are a huge college basketball fan like me, go Orange. Also go San Diego State men's basketball. Sergio, if you're listening, you know you're my backup. I love you dearly. But March Madness is March 16th through April 7th this year. So again, it kind of falls on the line of Q1, Q2. So
Mm-hmm.
if you were doing like the Final Four party, I would still call it a Q1 event because everything's going to be pulled together and it's the first week of April.
Yep.
Like, so I might switch that. That might be more on brand for me. Like, call a
More than
local.
the
Yeah.
Galentimes? Yeah. A little more. It's a little more on brand than the
What are you
Galentimes.
trying to say?
I'm
Did
just
you notice
saying.
I'm even wearing a Santa
You
shirt today?
a Santa and it's pink. Is it
It's
pink?
pink. It's
It's
pink.
pink.
Yeah.
A pink
Um,
Santa shirt. I know. Anybody if they watch the video on this, I'm wearing a Christmas shirt too. And by the time this airs, Christmas is over.
right. Mine says Santa's favorite realtor. I
Oh, I love
think.
that. I
No,
love
that's
that.
not what this
Mine
says.
just
This says Christmas lights and real estate advice.
Oh, that's cute too. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, you know what? March Madness is more my speed. I think that might be my thing. Just get like
Hmm.
reserve a table at a sports bar. Know that I'm paying for appetizers and everyone's first drink is on me. Get
Yep.
a lender or someone to co-sponsor to pay for some of that. I think that might be my thing.
Yeah.
Because
That's why Galentine's got deleted off your
that's
thing
probably
because it
why.
wasn't
Like my
wasn't on
brain was
brand.
like, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna like it. But it's funny when you say pink because like we went to the game Saturday and Aaron was like, "Oh, you're wearing makeup." I was like, "Yes, ma'am."
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, so okay, so your thing is to pull together a quarterly event.
Hmm.
Okay, my next one is more of a personal one. It's to reclaim my life. I have slacked. I feel like I said this last year too. On doing the things I like to do and making time for them. Um, until a couple weeks ago, my Tuesday night yoga class, I never missed it. Obviously, with holidays coming up, end of the year, trying to get some last minute stuff under contract, that has slipped. But that's going back to mandatory. That's a hard stop. Like clients can work around it.
Hmm.
Um, I'm going to continue the plan that I'm on for diet and other things. Um, I'm gonna try. I need to figure out if I want to go back to CrossFit or if I want to stick with the Y. I'm not loving the Y, but somewhere, something 3 times a week, and every other week I want to get back on my mountain bike or go for a hike. I miss those
There
things.
you go. That's
Um,
good.
yeah, and I just need to build it in and be like, no, I'm gonna go to the Whitewater Center for 2 hours and ride my bike. I don't care what anyone says. And then
Yep.
I need to start hanging out at places I used to like. I went to Optimist Hall yesterday to work on my goals because unlike normal people, I like loud, confusing spaces to focus in on things. And I was like, God, these are my people. I miss this. I that and Whitewater Center, and like I'm gonna, I need to start frequenting places like that again, which not only will help me personally, but will probably feed into professional as well.
For sure.
So, I just want to reclaim my personal life because I feel like I don't do anything anymore. So that, or I'm always hanging out with Aaron, which Aaron, I know you're listening and I love you dearly and there's nothing wrong with hanging out with you. I just
Right.
also want my habits and hobbies back. So,
Hmm.
um,
Yep.
yeah. All right, I have two more. How many more do you have?
I just have one.
Okay.
Well, it's just family. So we do try to do kids date once a month with each of the girls. We didn't do it this last. Listen, this last month has been with the holidays and everything. Like I feel like it gets crazy,
Right.
and that's not an excuse, but
Well, we have holidays and
that's my
sports
excuse.
schedules, like, and all of the holiday events at school. Like, it's not
Hmm.
just the holidays when you have kids, it's
Yeah,
everything ramps up this time of year.
we have been going crazy. Something that Violet and I have been doing together, and actually my mother-in-law's been going with us too. We've been doing the combatives class with Keith once a
Oh,
week. So
yeah.
that's kind of like something that Violet and I have been doing together, which is cool. Need to do something with Maddie. God, she just likes to go get a pedicure and eat pasta at
Hey, you can
Olive
say
Garden.
I'll hang
She's
out with
easy.
Maddie. Maddie's my kind of girl.
She's real easy to please. And then more more specific time with like Travis and I. Like we're gonna dish the kids with the parents and then go get dinner by
Good.
ourselves, because we need to focus on
Hmm.
us in our relationship too. It's hard when you have kids and you run big businesses and like you're busy all the time that you just get stuck in this like mundane redundancy, like we just do the things and Monday this happens and Tuesday this happens
Right.
and like and then it's just easy to get lost of the
Well,
part of you choosing each other
right.
back in the day gets lost somewhere. And
And
so I like to spend time with Travis by myself. I'm a little selfish, but
no, that you
quality time.
should. That's part of a marriage.
No, I
Like
know.
I've heard, I've never been married, but I've seen enough of my friends get married and go through divorces, and everyone says the focus should have been on us first,
Mhm.
then the kids, then everything else, because
Mhm.
we are the reason the rest of this exists. And if we're not working
Yeah.
on that, then the rest of this will fall apart. And
Yeah.
I think it shows your kids a healthy relationship, what it's supposed to be like, how they're supposed to be treated. And I also saw a lady on TikTok the other day that said, when my husband and I feel like we're accidentally creeping back into that roommate stage, here's the 5 things we do to bring us back into a
Mhm.
and I was like, I thought about it, I was like, back into all my past relationships. I was like, yeah, you get into the, okay, this is our ebb and flow, and then the
Mhm.
spark is gone, or the spice, and it's like, I'm done, thanks. the
Yeah.
the ebb and flow so far hasn't been enough ebb and flow to make me want to marry you, so I'm out.
Oh God.
um but it's important, and like I said, that's what created everything else y'all have. So if you don't
Mhm.
focus on that, everything else will fall apart.
Yeah. And for us, like we had Violet very like it was very so we weren't together a year before Violet was born. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it was like yikes. We became parents and still didn't know like who we are. So it's just I don't know, it's important. And like my one of my love languages is quality time.
Right.
So I'll just go sit out in the garage awkwardly while he's working. He's like, "Can I help you? Like, do you need something?" Like, "No, I'm just solidarity.
Right.
Go Travis. Do you need a wrench?"
Do you need a 10
Oh well.
millimeter socket? No, I like that. I love that. Okay, so we have a joint goal, or at least I put it on mine, and I think it's a joint goal. And I'm going to go over this one before I go over my other one.
Okay,
We want 250 podcast followers in the first quarter.
this quarter. Yeah, we need to add 250.
Yes. So we have put a lot of work into this the last year and a half, or year, just over a year. Um, so we are going to do our part by pushing it on social media, posting in real estate groups, things like that. But I'm also going to ask our listeners for a favor. And I didn't put this in here because I didn't want Brendan to be like, you're not going to do that. I want y'all to share us, please. If you have a friend or a family member that's in the industry or that's thinking of getting into the industry, send them an episode. Or you have a client who's like, hey, this episode was great about how to prepare for a listing, I think we did, or home inspection, stuff like that. Please
Uh-huh.
share us. On every platform, there's a button. You can share the whole show, you can share just one episode. Um, we would love it. And if you do,
Yeah.
let us know. Or if you share our social media, tag us in it. Like, we would love to know who you are, where you are, and eventually give you back some of that love. But right now, we really want 250 more followers um, in the
Yeah,
first
so
quarter.
subscribe,
Yes, hit that follow
rate, like
button.
all of those things
Yes,
make a huge difference on how we show up in those feeds too or in those searches. I mean, everything's about an algorithm. So,
right.
the more love that it looks like there is on our podcast as far as follows and rates, like the better it's going to show up when somebody's searching for a real estate podcast.
Yes,
So,
and I think, you know what? We have one review. I think it's on Apple, and it just clicked. I think I know who it is, and I'm going to call him after this. I think it's my dad. I
is
think it's
it?
I it's someone who spelled out dog but phonetically, so it's Deoghee or something like Dog.
Oh, uh,
And he always does that, and I'm wondering if it's him, which
have to
melts my
call and
heart
ask.
to know my dad listened to at least one episode.
That's
I'm gonna call him when we
adorable.
hang out. So yes, we're gonna ask you guys, if you wouldn't mind, share us, like, rate, comment. It's super helpful to get us out there.
And
Um,
share the love. I mean, if you're enjoying it, heck, we know other people. I saw one of our little podcast things that said that we'd grown by like 1,200 and something percent this year, which was like, oh, that's a big number. And then that people have listened from 27 different countries, which also was
Yeah, that
crazy.
shocked
So
me.
I was like, yikes, look at us go. But no, like we want to grow the community. We want to continue bringing value and information to you guys. And that's just something that we can, like, if you're subscribed, we know that it's showing up on your feed,
Right.
So,
Yeah, because eventually, what I would love to do is grow this to more than just us talking every week. Like Hustle
mhm,
Humbly has a Facebook community. Other podcasts have grown communities around them and different resources. I would love us to grow that, but that's
mhm,
going to take time, energy, and quite frankly, finances that we need sponsors. So if you guys help
mhm.
us grow here, we can then eventually grow to be more, um, to give back to you. So I would really love that. I think that's it. Those are our
I think that's
goals.
it.
We've
Yeah.
got
And this
some,
time we even gave you some, this is what I'm doing, so we can follow up better and
right?
see what we're actually doing or what we're actually slacking on.
Yeah.
So, yay!
Oh, and I definitely, as we went through this, definitely took some notes on some of your ideas and was like, okay, like some of it's in here, but I just kind of like the listing lead stuff is the mailers. But I do have Facebook groups. I'm like, why did I not talk about? I need to be, those need to go in my daily thing too to build my Facebook groups
Mhm.
back out. So, um,
Yeah, it's a lot of everyday things that we can be doing. And I just have to be like more intentional with that time. And
yeah.
the last like 30 days, I've been consistent like doing business, but the little nitty-gritty things have sometimes been like pushed off to the side, and those are what builds you forward for Q1. So
Yep. Yep.
back to work on those. But
All right, y'all. Well, we will see
oh,
you next
happy New
week.
Year. We'll see
Yes.
you next year. Ha ha
Oh,
ha
yeah. We'll see you next
ha.
year. Welcome to 2025, y'all. May it be a good one.
All right, bye guys. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.